What's good, YouTube? I'm here at the shop waiting on my client, aka brother Isaiah Bell, to come. And today I kind of wanted to do something different. I want to start like a new, I don't want to call it a series, but I want to start like a new thing because I have a lot of different clients in different industries and different careers, and they do a lot of different stuff. And I just thought it'd be nice to share with y'all and with some people that find it interesting, like what it is these people do on a day-to-day basis and what type of clients that we actually deal with when we're working as barbers. So hopefully if he's up to it today, I'm gonna try to have a conversation or cut in a conversation with Isaiah and just see what he does, how he got where he came and where he came from. So hopefully he'll be down for it, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
I am,
No, I'm trying to start like a new series,
about what?
just cuts in conversation.
Okay.
Because I deal with a bunch of different people in different professions. Do different stuff. No drug dealers, yeah.
It's coming, huh? Maybe it was good, right?
And you have to control your symptoms with regular.
You make sure for them now.
Treat the lows or highs. Regular treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar.
Well, sometimes it was such a different. Sometimes better than others.
And clinical studies not saw no substantial impact on weight. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of depression. Call your doctor about emerging changes. Muscles or confusion, which may relate
It's the late man. You gonna be here what time?
10:30.
Nah.
You said in the block. I haven't taken it from. Oh, y'all do it your own camera?
Right now, y'all don't, most of it.
So do you? Say something. If you are Jamaican and not from Jamaica, I don't get it. You work like a Jamaican. You don't keep regular barbershop hours.
People like you paid without work. I wouldn't have to work for that.
I get what you work. What do you feel I'm worth? About 35, 40 bucks a day. When I knew it, Bobby, I want to try the only leg in the kitten now.
I should say.
Here we go.
Look at the circumstances. You know, Sunday, I can watch the football.
And I consider that. But you ain't here no other day of the week, so what can I do?
I'm helping to you.
That's what you call it. My kids, okay. My kids are not available to be, they're not available to be in an activity you're giving back to, sir.
One day they will be.
One day they will be.
Kind of how we ran the city.
Yes, sir.
Share with the people what you do.
I do, so currently I serve as an instructional specialist for music in Clayton County Local School. What that means is, I support teachers in a various ways, from acquiring equipment, professional development, opportunities, it could be policies that our district seems to be necessary to have written on, or examine and see what's the best way to deal with situations. I don't have ability to hire people, but I can recommend people to get hired. I do enjoy helping people get jobs. That's a fun aspect of the job. Yeah, I graduated Southside at 6, 1 year before you started.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. But you know, they say the class on six is the best class in Southside High School. I tend to agree.
They say that about it.
I don't know.
Personally. Okay. Anyways. So back in '06, did you think that you would be in the position that you're in?
No, I never did.
What was the plan coming out of high school?
The plan coming out of high school was to go to Georgia State or either TSU. Tennessee State was my HBCU of choice. But I took private lessons from Dr. Brown at Georgia State when I was in high school. I was in Mysore, Atlanta while I was in high school, so I was always in Georgia State weekly. So it just made sense to go there. You know, a lot of people question why. I got a lot of experience about winning guiding out of other places. You know, a lot of times when people see band, they only see marching band, but there's so many other aspects to band and music education and just marching band. However, I do love the activity and what it does for the community and music education as a whole. But it was great to get exposure to at a high level of different things I wouldn't have gotten from experience.
You went to TSU.
No, I wouldn't have gotten on to a lot of schools.
I don't want to start that argument with you today.
There's no argument, man. You have to go. I tell people you have to go where your opportunities are or where they lie. Some people that's going to be HBCU, some people that's going to be a PWI, some people that's going to be a PBI. But you know, at the end of the day, as long as you start and you finish, it's the biggest, the most important thing. Whether you start and you finish. I'm not taking shots, just being real. I'm not taking shots.
And I want to say a couple, maybe 2 years ago, I had an interview conversation with another friend or associate of ours, Reed Douglas, and one of the topics or comments that we were talking about was like today's kids versus us when we were in high school. Like, do you feel like it's a disconnect between the arts and the kids of this generation versus what it was when we were young?
I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a disconnect. You have to realize fine art is an old world discipline. And what I mean by that, you know, fine arts is design and the nature is where you gotta sit down and put a certain amount of sweat equity into what you do. And you know, people in our age were like the last classes to be able to say we interact with the boomers on a certain level or had some of the same experiences with boomers. This new generation, you know, they come from the popcorn generation. You know, put a popcorn on the microwave, press the button, it pops. Press the button on the game, the man is on the jump. Do whatever else you're supposed to do. And they got cheat codes for the games and things like that. So we still teach the arts in the same manner in which we learned it and which our parents learned it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we haven't done a great job in the arts of addressing to the modern day learners, you know?
I agree. I mean, so what are some other things that we think are kind of innovative or upscale the arts industry where it relates to the technology?
So, you know, I've done some research in that area. My dissertation was on that.
Dissertation, now,
Yes, I am. So what?
Probably should have mentioned that.
You know, I respond to everything. Anyhow, so when you talk about how people learn, you know, when we were in school and certain days, you got people who learn orally, visually, kinesthetic learners. Now you have those three, which also have students who learn via technology. So we have to incorporate technology into day-to-day teaching and instruction. Think about it. You know, I remember when the Walkman came out. So on the Walkman, I had one of those. We had portable CD players. You know, now, you know, everything's on our phone. You know, tuners on that phone. When we were in school, we tried out for Allstate and so on and so on, college. You had to go buy a tuner. It wasn't an app you downloaded.
Yeah, I still got that.
Yeah, you want a metronome, you go buy a metronome. I still have a metronome. It had to go dial on it. And then it had a different tempo marking numbers and then the words like Andante and Allegro. Now it's all on the app, so we have to incorporate those things and be comfortable incorporate those things. But when you incorporate those types of technologies into your instruction, you have to do it in a way that's organic and not just doing it to be doing it, but doing it with a purpose. And a lot of times, when teachers integrate technology into the classroom can be uncomfortable because a lot of this technology was not out when many of us were in school. Even when I was an undergrad, we took a technology and music education course, but they didn't teach us how to use the technology that you find in the school system. They teach you how to use the technology that we use to be a musician, such as Alan Sibelius, taught you how to make websites, to market yourself as a musician, things like that. They teach you how to use a smart board and how to use that for instruction. That's not what those classes are designed for. And so, it puts teachers in a situation where when you use the technology, more than likely your student don't know how to use it better than you. And you have to be comfortable and secure enough in yourself as a teacher to allow them to help you use the technology.
On that topic, right? So I work as a paraprofessional at Turner High School.
Right.
And sometimes there's a disconnect between people who've been in the education field for 30 years or whatever, and they just refuse to adjust and adapt to technology. And they try to do things, I don't want to say the Stone Age way, but they kind of do things like how they've always been doing it. It's not translated. Right? So how do you feel, what's the best way to approach that? Not even pertaining to the art.
Well, at some point, that person is going to be you. That person might end up being me. I hope not. I still open-minded to learn, but you never know. That's the unique thing about our generation. We're young enough to know what the old was like, but we're young enough to have seen the new coming in. So now it's just a matter of when you stay ahead of it and stay with it and change with it. That's to be determined. But the best way to deal with it is to be consistent, constant PD. But we have to do it in a way that makes people comfortable. Sometimes they have to be interactive professional development where people they can create lessons that they can see themselves teaching. Sometimes learning as an adult doesn't always need to happen from someone talking to you. Might need to be your peer, or you learn how to use it, you teach other peers. Something a lot of times that's the best way to approach it without getting too technical about it.
Related. Well, for example, yesterday we went to Manchester High School, like a little exhibition or whatever.
Okay.
And I feel like over the years, you know how you have performance etiquette, certain things that are just understood.
Unwritten rules,
Yeah, like I feel like nowadays, like a lot of these kids don't know, like paying attention to performance, respecting the people that are performing, like engaging with the actual performer and making sure that it's an enjoyable experience. I know when we came out the field, like there was just nothing, like no cheers, no nothing. It was just like we did. But have you witnessed a change in that, or do you feel like it's just something that's
I said I witnessed a change. I feel like kids take on what they're taught, take on what's presented to them. People don't do this. Students don't get band fine arts because I want to go play an instrument. Some do not. That's not the case for everybody. Some of them enjoy the activity for the social aspect of it. Some of them enjoy the activity for being really cool or I like what they do. I can see myself being them, or they're good to people, or I like the feeling I get here. I feel safe when I'm in this program. And so I think children do, they're taught. You know, you want your parent to be disciplined, and you want your parent to be respectful of adults. You have to model that. You have to teach that and preach that. You know, it's more than just about the notes on the page and cranking and yanking on the 50-yard line. It's about what do you put into the student? What's the package you sell? And it's a community in which you're in buying the package you sell. You know, there are a bunch of different shifts in bands, music education, particularly out music. I don't always agree with a lot of them. I don't like to speak out against them because, you know, we live in a society where you can be counseled. And you can be counseled for having an opinion that people don't agree with. And unfortunately, I'm very opinionated a lot of things in this education community. Do I care? No. I just try to keep as much of it to myself as possible. But, you know, if you want kids to have great education, you want kids to be respectful of other people, you have to teach them. But we as adults have to model that too. We don't do a good job of that right now.
Yeah, I noticed. It's more people like you in the field than say me. Which I feel like I'm a cool mixture of both. I can see the importance.
Both sides of what?
Not the necessarily cranking and the fun aspect of it,
Yeah.
but I still have a strong belief in understanding the information and the fundamentals and knowing what music is.
Okay. That's fair. I think specifically, when you talk about band culture, you talk about underground. I think that has a good point where the educators have to decide whether they want to be in the culture or not be in the culture. I say they shouldn't be in the culture. I don't think children need to be in the culture. You need to give them guidance, morals, and values, what's wrong and right. But when they can go on social media and see you down bands and see you clown and cut up amongst each other, but then you come back in the room and you say something else, you do something different. Like you want to act this way and behave this way, but you're not doing this. You know, if it diminishes your effect and your ability to get, you know, the things you're talking about.
So not that's what you're saying, like once you experience that part of life and the culture or whatever, chalk it.
I'm not saying chalk it. I'm saying some things don't have to be for public display and to see. Everything ain't meant to be put on social media. Everything ain't meant to be for the public to see. You know, if you don't like band 8, that's on you. Right. But, you know, you can visually go see on social media. We got different pages, we got groups, and they go in. These are adults. So we got to go stand in front of the kids on Monday morning. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and whatever days got to stand in front of them. But then we want them to behave a certain way. We want them to do a certain point. You can't have it both ways.
Is it a way to? It's probably not. But is it a way to kind of filter in a way like we present to the kids, or is the education still that far off where they just hire anybody?
Well, I don't think they hire anybody. You know, when people interview for jobs, it's kind of hard to know how somebody's gonna respond for 5 to 10 years. You know, there's an art to interviewing.
Thank you, master. Excuse me. You got a doctorate and a job? What's wrong with the screening system?
Well, really, that's what we're doing there, okay? There's an art to interviewing, there's an art to getting a job. And, you know, I think, you know, when you're in college, it's okay to be part of the culture. Be a college student. But when you cross that line, you walk the stage, you get a degree, in whatever state you teach in, issue you a teacher certificate because you met the minimum requirements to be an educator or highly qualified as they call it. You're on the other side. The community don't tell you you should drive the community, you should drive the discipline. And I think, you have to learn which side we want to be on. You can't, a lot of times you can't walk the line. When you're amongst your peers, y'all sit back at homecoming, you're with adults, it's great. But there's too much of it on display. On social media, different outlets.
I think that's in any situation at any time. After that, I moved out when I was 16.
Now, don't get me wrong.
And then took over in an apartment.
I love marching down, I love the culture. I just don't like, when it goes too far. Because, we put it on display for people who don't look like us and don't understand and see.
And that was another thing too that kind of made me ask that question because like the area that we was in, it was more course style bands.
That part of the thing has that particular county has one. So we put on display for everybody to see. And then you make concessions. Well, that's how the band rock. This way, they behave this way. Directors behave this way. It doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way because if they see it, the ESPN see it. If they see it, how can see it? Different television outlets see it. And they have this conversation about, why do the directors talk to each other, treat each other this way? Why do the programs do this stuff this way? And we're in an age where I don't necessarily say we fight to sit at the table, but we want our discipline respect. We want us to respect the discipline, respect what we do, and treat it in high regard as we do. We have to show it in its best light.
It has to be more consistent.
Have to be consistent, yeah. That takes time to get that consistency. Now don't get me wrong, the other side of it has issues too. You have very some issues too. You can sit here and talk about, the other things you did about the other side of it too. But we can't control that. We don't even control our side. What we're doing in the community.
I feel like if anybody understands that revenue raise, anybody that was in Tallahassee, and you did 07 to 2014 when all that stuff was happening, the same thing was happening across the tracks, but nobody was even talking about it, nobody was publicizing it.
Nobody was talking about it. When we was in high school, Mr. Thomas, the high school manager, used to have this thing. He's saying, Isaiah, there were 99 good things you do. They only remember you for the one bad thing that you do.
Yep.
They only remember you for the one bad thing. And that's unfortunate. That's one of the other aspects of my job, advising people. Hey, I want to move this way into this room. Maybe think about it this way, maybe don't do this, And I'm not always successful. People are adults, they can do and choose as they please. But as an adult, for every action, you have a reaction. When you come to me with a antecedent condescending, every phrase has a reaction phrase to it. I hope so. What, fam?
I guess the counter to the question I asked you earlier about did you see yourself doing this?
Oh, how about that?
I definitely see myself doing this. But I was
Man, in high school, man, I was going to either go play some classical trumpet. I always wanted to be a band artist, probably since I was in 3rd grade. But I was either going to do some, do that and play trumpet, man. I never thought, what I do now, or even dream about it back then. So that's what I'll be doing.
I just thought of a random question. So you know how, and I don't know if you watch sports, but you know how in sports, like people who get to play but end up being coaches, they get like a lot of pushback. Like, do you feel like somebody who might not be virtuosic on their instrument can still be a good mentor?
You're gonna get me canceled by this video.
Come on, bro.
This interview is gonna have people looking me sideways, bro. These questions you're asking, and I'm trying to answer them as politically correct as possible. You do not have to be a virtuoso to be a music. But I'm gonna go out and say it. Music, fine, but practice what you can preach. It is a practice what you can preach this, and you need to be able to do things that you're asking people to do. You might not be able to do them on all instruments, but you should be able to at least do it on one. And there are some who cannot, and you know, that's to each his own. Not to say that they're being, you know, one better than the other, but you know, I come from that school of thought. I was fortunate. You know, we had high school band directors. You know, we didn't realize how fortunate we was until later on.
Well, I did.
Yeah,
You know, just to see, and then speaking of Marie, like it brought back memories when I first went to Tucker and I started working with her because like she was going through a symphonic band rehearsal. And it just hit different to a student when they're struggling on this passage in the music and you can go pick up that instrument and go stand behind them and play it and they have a reference versus you sitting on the podium trying to explain to them how to do it. Like that brought back memories to me just thinking about this time picking up a tuba or a trombone.
You know, man, that was a time when we used to come to the band room, he would be sitting there with the flute in his hand.
Yeah.
But whenever he walked in the band room this outside, you know, during this time period, there was always a table in front of the room. Every instrument, you know, it was easy clarinet on the saxophone on the trumpet, flute. He didn't pick up tuba as much. He would have at least a phone. Even though tuba was his primary, he would always have a phone. And trombone. So, and you know, you can see him playing scale. I'll say that too on these instruments. There's something to be said about that. Do they make band like that no more? No. They are a rare breed. No. Do I think I would have ever been that type of band? Probably not. Close. In middle school, you know, I always picked up the different instruments. You had to. The good thing about being able to pick up the instruments and model them as yourself in a director, you might go somewhere and teach what kids can afford private lessons. Whether that's in the black inner city, or whether that's in the rural South Georgia that may be predominantly Caucasian in the mix, it's all the same. You're gonna teach and deal with those scenarios pretty much the same. And the more tools you have in your toolbox, the more successful you're gonna be. I'm fine.
I also agree with you. I don't think I would have been handled as comfortable if I continued on the path of music education.
Well, you know, you don't know if you don't necessarily know that you're passing over.
And it's like runny eggs and tomato sauce. So you didn't put eggs in the sauce, right?
Cut it down.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing that on the spot.
You'll just make me happy or free? Okay. That's another. You know. Good morning to that. Okay. I'm gonna behave myself today.
I might have to put a mic on your percentage.
Why?
Most civilized conversation we had.
Really?
Since I started cooking.
Adopted us, so she's mom to me.
But you know, you bring us to people like Marie, man. I tell Marie every time I see her, I'm extremely proud of her, man. You know, you gotta realize, Yep, supposed to be Dr. Douglas. I remember when she started playing. You remember when she you know, we can't, you know, I got by the time I got out of school.
For those that don't know, she started on trumpet and she couldn't make it, so she went to horn.
I wouldn't say she couldn't make it, she couldn't want the horn. She probably went to horn because we needed some French horn players. I don't know if she would have made it. We needed some French horn players. He said that in real, I didn't say that. I don't know what this man said.
Couldn't cut it.
Oh man, really? I had nothing to do with this. I wouldn't say she could cut. I just probably needed some French horn players. But
We needed French horn.
but you know, when I look at all the accolades that things she's receiving and is receiving, and all the things she's accomplished, I can't help but be proud of her, man. I remember.
I forgot to mention she's an amazing.
You don't let me finish the thought.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, what her compositions and things like that. I remember when she started playing, man, and when she was a beginner. So that goes to show you that people can start at any point in their life, in their academic career, K-12, versus when they start middle school, or they start elementary school, or high school, and still be successful. You know, and that goes to show, you know, back in those days, Mr. Thomas, he enjoyed teaching beginning band to high school students. He had this thing where he said that it was easier to teach high school students beginning band versus middle and elementary students. And I see why. She's a direct product of that. And you know, I wish more high school directors would teach beginning band. Now that feels out there on songs too. I think it will help what they did.
It's also, I don't want to say humbling, but it's also a kind of equalizer in my opinion. Like if you, this virtuoso player, can break it back down to how you started and be able to translate that to something. Because I've been in past with people who are very knowledgeable about certain things, but they can't start somebody that, you know, just picked up a horn. Like they can't go back that far for whatever reason.
You know, that's the thing. You got some guys out here who teach high school now, and they say, hey, I don't want to teach middle school band. I don't want to teach beginning band. I don't like it. And to be honest with this, I can respect the person that don't want to do that.
Right.
Because it's a start. It needs to be somebody who has the patience and does have the skill set to start, man. Because think about it. When you put that mouthpiece up to somebody, that's just like taking a baby out of the womb. You know, that's a delicate situation, you know. Versus starting trumpet on the shit, versus starting a French horn on the shit, versus starting an oboe on the shit, or a flute on the shit. You know, and then, you know, we see videos and pictures that pop up in the media. You know, kids like, and the instrument's not where it's supposed to be, they hold the trombone like a bazooka. And we get mad that the media has put that picture out there, but if you teach it the right way and stay true to it, you know, whether kids fight against it or not, you know, you won't have those type of things happen.
Shockingly, I don't disagree with any of the things you said today, but you know, that comes with the territory.
You know, today you don't agree.
Okay. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.